All right. So we back at the studio, and what we're gonna talk about today? We're gonna talk about the truth about religion. And since they have Islam categorized as a religion, along with Christianity and Judaism and etc., other religions, we're gonna do a discussion about Islam from a religious perspective, you know, in hopes that we can get people to see and understand that it is not a religion. Anyway, my name is Rakib. This is Brother Sharif, Brother
Luke.
Yeah. And this show is called the
Divine Black Supreme.
Divine Black Supreme Show. Yeah. And what made you come up with that title?
Well, it's pretty simple. Divine actually being our essence, black being our physical makeup, and supreme is a combination of both, which represents a state of being or status.
Excellent. Yeah. I want to start out dealing with a particular ayah in the Quran, where it says that when truth comes, falsehood must perish. So if that's a fact, and people understand the truth about Islam, about the human being, then falsehood has to perish. We have to do away with falsehood. Earlier we was talking about what the Quran says the Khalifa was made of. But I want to kind of start just a little bit before this, and then we'll come right back to this, because I want to throw an idea out here, a concept out here for people to just think about for a second. You know, when we read in Scripture, we have to use logics, rational thinking, and science to try and gather what's more factual from what's more fictional. And the reason that a lot of our people are thrown out, as to say, when it comes to religion, it's because we have these concepts that's been given to us about the Bible and the Quran. Like in the beginning of the story of the creation of man, when it says that in the Bible, it says that God created man, male and female. He created them. The Quran goes into this dialogue type of story. It says that Allah gathered out of the Malaika, out of the Malaika, and they translate that word as angels. It said he gathered out of the Malaika together, and he told them that he was about to create, he was about to appoint. He uses the word ja'ilun, right? He uses the word ja'ilun. He uses that word ja'ilun. Not create, but appoint. He was going to appoint this Khalifa, which they translated as a ruler, a successor, one in authority. And he said, when he finished, when he completed, he wanted them to bow down to it, prostrate to it, as they say. So it said, all of the Malaika bowed down except Iblis, correct? Is that what the story says?
Yeah.
All right, so in our mind, we have this picture. We have this picture of angels, you know, sitting around and Allah standing there, and he's about to shape and form this human being. We have this mental picture. And he's about to shape and form this, and then one of the angels get up and say, hey, look, man, are you fit to do that? And I've been the one praising you and glorifying your holy name. You know, and we picture this dialogue going on. You know what I'm saying? As though somebody is dialoguing back with Allah. That's something people should say, you know, stock for Allah. People should say stock for Allah for thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? There's something that's real dialoguing, debating, questioning Allah. But this is the manner in which we build our faith and our understanding on religion. So we get thrown off from the very beginning.
The thing about it is, it says, your Lord
Yes.
said
Yeah.
that he is about to appoint, or he is appointing.
Yeah, it started out and said, what? Say what? In.
In
Yeah, it said what? In. Color. Right? Said when your Lord said,
Yeah.
and when he said, right?
Yeah.
Right. The word, excuse me. Right. Right? Your Lord, Rabbuka.
Yeah.
Right? Rabbuka. And when he said, your Lord, Lil Malaika.
Now the point,
Right.
that's correct, but the
Yeah.
point I was making
That word.
was that word,
Right.
a lot of people equate that with that's Allah speaking.
Right. That's what we get to. When it started out, why did Qala Rabbuka Lil Malaikati?
Yeah.
As we were saying, people have it in their mind, this kindergarten,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fairy tale type story. And this is what people build their faith and understanding
I got you.
in what they believe.
I got you.
And what they fail to realize is they have a kindergarten, a fairy tale belief in what they call a religion. But what religion actually does is just what it's defined to do. It twists you. It twists you in your thinking. It binds you in your thinking. That's what the word religion means. To twist, to bind, to tie up. And that's what it does. It ties you up into this fairy tale concept from the jump. Like we read in the Bible, well,
Yeah, yes.
God was walking through the midst of the garden in the cool of the day, and he called out for Adam, and Adam hid himself. And God said, oh, Adam, where are you? He said, here I am, Lord, I hid. I was hiding from you. And he asked him why he was hiding. He said, because I was naked. He said, well, who told you you were naked? See, we already have brought God down to a level of an ignorant person. He don't know where Adam was. He don't know why Adam did what he did. You know what I'm saying? He only came out when it was cool. He didn't come out when it was hot. He came out in the cool of the day. So, starting out in a faith and a belief from a fairy tale type understanding, we're going to get a fairy tale type of belief system. But see, it says when truth comes, falsehood must perish. So what we want to do is we want to give a breakdown of the allegorical or symbolic understanding that Scripture gives.
Okay.
To give people more of a factual, scientific, logical, rationalized type of thinking. So they can have a more logical, factual belief system. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about the word malaika, the word malaika has nothing to do with the concept of which people have of an angel. A little child flying around with wings, or, you know, a ghost. You know what I'm saying? The word Malachi means just what it does. It means what? Power. When you look at the word Malach, that it comes from, the word Malach is the root word. Malach, right? The Malach. Those three words. Malach, that's what it means. It means power, authority, force, energy. That's what it means. You know what I'm saying? So, all this talking about in an allegorical sense is the forces, the energies that are like gathered together, right?
Yeah.
And put inside that solid. That's all it's talking about. It's talking about the energy force that are put inside that solid Hamad, right? That solid Hamad, that sounding clay that he shaped and formed. All he's talking about is those forces, those energy forces that we have in this universe. He made them bow down, meaning put inside this solid Hamad Masnoon, and made that solid Hamad Masnoon the ruler. It is not different angels that has their own characters. We're talking about elements. Elements in the universe. That's why Allah tells us, right, that there are signs, right, in the universe within you. Those same signs is in you. We're made up of all of those elements. But there is an element within us that causes us to oppose things. We're talking about Iblis. Even Iblis became a clay diamond. Even Iblis did. Even that mentality became a clay thing.
Yeah. We just for communication purposes,
yes,
using names just to identify forces and different forces and energies.
That's it.
So we got to have characters.
We got to have
Iblis and Adam,
yeah.
you know, Shaitan, and so on, so
forth. Yeah.
I got you.
So when we begin to teach our kids the fairy tale type of belief, fairy tale, it's easy for them to fall prey to other people's ideology. See, it's easy for a Christian to see Jesus as God, not as a God, but as the God, because they've already introduced God walking through the garden, looking fine in the cool of the day. So they can already relate that God walk around. Yeah, they say he came in the cool of the day. Not when it was hot, but when it was nice and cool. You understand what I'm saying? So that belief system started from the beginning of the story. So now when they put this picture of this European dude up here as Jesus, it's easy for our kids, our parents and so forth, who wasn't properly educated. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for them to take on those beliefs and fall victim to it, because we are a people that are bound in worship. We're just that type of people. It's a part in us that causes us to worship the greater part of things, which they have taught us to look for those greater part of things outside of ourselves. They create these Iblises and so forth in characters and don't explain the elements. You know, when we talk about disparity, what we're talking about emotions. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about the jinn being created from a smokeless fire, nara, the word nara, right? They translated fire. You know what I'm saying? But they not the word nara don't mean an actual fire. It don't mean an actual fire. It means the combustions, the things that comes together to create a spark. Like the word shaitan. This definition to despair, right? That's what they say the word means, to despair. Right? To despair. Iblis, it said, became shaitan, correct? It becomes shaitan. It became a theme of despair, correct? Because the word shaitan means name of play. Mm-hmm. It's so solid. But it is not that creature, that creation that Allah said He created to be a Khalifa. It is only that force of disparity. How do we see disparity as a force?
Okay, let me make sure I'm hearing you right. As far as Iblis, as far as the Nara, the fire.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm hearing you right, the nature of a fire, period, the elements of fire, is of a destructive nature. It's not controlled. It's of destructive nature. So we equate the physical fire internally with something like emotions.
Yes.
Left unchecked and left uncontrolled, they become destructive over time.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. We're on the same page. So, just like a fire is needed, we need fire. We need fire. Fire is a resource. That's needed. Yes. Same way emotions. But it's like you say, left unchecked. Yep. Getting out, right, of the point of area that we are using it for. Right? Give me an example of a person or a child or something out of control in their emotions. And I'll show you Iblis. A child or a person. A good example.
Well, like you said, looking at it from aspect of elements, what we made up of.
Yeah.
There's no shadow of doubt. The law placed their ability to produce that type of energy in us for a specific person. A specific person.
Yeah.
Now, what you see today is it being haphazardly displayed. Violence. Yeah. That's haphazardly displaying their energy. It was put in us to protect us. It was put in us. That's your ability to produce that energy. That's the only purpose it serves. Because it's what? It's destructive. Okay, it's a force.
Yeah.
Okay, so you say left unchecked, you want to put it on childlike sense when you say emotional temper. Oh, they fall out in the middle of the store using this action. He ain't crying. He's not hurt.
Right.
But I'm gonna use this energy, right?
Yeah.
Get my mother to put that cereal in the basket.
Yeah.
Okay, that's left. That's something a child would do.
Right. Unchecked
But when
emotion.
you unchecked emotion,
Yeah.
but from, you know, from an adult understanding that, hey, that in particular entity that was created, it served a purpose. When it's left unchecked, it's haphazardly dispersed. When you shoot, if you arguing with the queen and you reach out and touch her, you done, you know, a haphazard dispersal. You done lost, you done lost your ability to govern that energy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And most of us, you know, they don't even talk how to do that in.
Yeah. A lot of youngsters use the word come unglued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used
We
to
let it get out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah. They come from the place it was attached to. You know, they come unglued. Yeah. Unchecked emotions. Yeah. But we get the framework of what we're talking about, right? The manner in which we've been taught religion is from a kindergarten, you know what I'm saying? Real elementary. And we don't get the science of things. So by not understanding that,
you made mention, you said we get it in the form of a fairy tale.
yeah, fairy tale.
So the results we get are just as fictitious.
Yes.
They just as fairy tale.
Yeah.
You see brothers, they walk around and they almost levitate. Fairy tale.
Yeah.
That's because if I put it like this, when you talk about unifying yourself with your group,
yeah,
okay, and understanding that you created the best moment, okay, you understand also that it's an evolutionary process. Okay, and that means you're supposed to grow into something. Yeah. Okay? Right. In order for you to grow, you gotta be fed. You gotta be fed the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay. You see kids grow today, right?
Yeah.
Kids huge, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why they having problems physically is because they outgrown their organs grow, and their organs can't keep up.
Yeah.
Right? Because they've been chemically enhanced. This is what's going on out in, you know, out in what's going on now. So, you know, looking at it from those perspectives, what we're dealing with, what a child made up of. See, a child deficient, period, because he ain't being raised properly.
Right.
So if your understanding is it's gonna be retarded.
Of course.
It's not gonna produce, because you know, my grandmother, you know, that's the queen. Like, my father used to he didn't oppose her, he just said it was more to it. Okay? And he meant that in the sense of, grandma used to say, baby, just pray. My dad would say, stop telling that, because it's more to it.
Yeah.
Right? Now you're supposed to be able to connect the two.
Right.
You ain't equipped to do nothing, and prayers are useless.
Yeah.
Okay? If you was created from the best of molds in this evolutionary process, then you need to take on the things that's going to allow you to evolve and grow. But if you don't do that, that's all aspects. That's not just, this is the governor. Everything that you could possibly learn, this is the governor for that. This checks knowledge. Because knowledge unchecked is just as destructive as the elements that you're speaking of. Because we know for certain, right, it's one individual that's walking the face of the earth, that the more he learned, the more destructive he became. Because he didn't have that, which would check him. Right. I'm gonna say, hey. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. But, you know, that's my point. My point is, you know, we've allowed our children, we had no control over our parents and our grandparents because we wasn't present. You know what I'm saying? Plus, times was different. the circumstances was different. You know, and they did the best they could with what they had in the time they was in.
Yeah.
But we in a time now where information is at your fingertip. You know, it's no reason whatsoever for us to still think foolishly and walk around with what people call blind faith, or just believe in anything anybody say. You know, without what they're saying making common sense, logic, having some type of historical, scientific proof, some type of fact behind it. You know, see, why I don't go into a lot of the mass shootings is because I've had a lot of time in the past dealing with them, with the mindset that they're in. For instance, it's not going to profit me one bit to know how many children the Prophet Muhammad had, how many wives he had, all of his uncles' names.
You know what's funny about that? Is they'll give you all that information. But they won't tell you his mama was black.
Yeah, but the thing about it, I'm saying, it's
I'm
irrelevant. It's irrelevant to the, But
I'm just saying, you know this, but you know all this information.
Yeah.
You recognize all of them, his uncle, this, but you want it's like if you recognize the ethnicity, the timeline, historically, for the people of that geographical location, then if you could accept this and you would begin to, just like you said, knowing all that stuff about the prophet.
Yeah.
But once again, I'm either not being told everything, so I'm repeating something. I have not researched or my line of research. If I'm the one you get your research from, I don't care. It's gonna continue to look like I want it to look for you to research. But if you don't go outside of that, that's when you come to that world history and understanding the development of world civilization as far as people. Then you move on into accepting Islam in a whole nother fashion when you say, you know, how you treat Muslims, because it's plain and simple. Arab, quote unquote, Arab Muslims do not treat African Muslims the same. And hence the religion is not functioning to its full capacity. Why? Because nothing's changed. My dad said it all the time. He said the most segregated time in the world is Sunday. Because white people go to white church, black people go to black church, Arabs go to, you can see them sprinkle, but you know, we talking about the coming together.
Some of the best thing people can do if they just want to get down to the bottom of everything is just set these titles to the side. Look at each other as for who we are. Don't look at me as this, that's that, you up under that title, you fall up under this religious order, that. Set all that to the side and look at the people for who they were created to be in their intended purpose. And then when you start to do that and look at the track records, the historical track records of groups of people, then you'll know who is who. It don't matter what you call yourself, because then the final analysis here is based on what you do. That's the only thing that matters, your intent and purpose. So we set the titles to the side, the Muslim, Christian, this and that, then from an ethnic perspective, looking at groups, we see a Caucasian, European group over here. We see black folks, Negroes, African American, whatever you want to call us. And then you see the Asian group. And then some sprinkle in between. You know what I'm saying? But history shows us the characteristics and what groups of people are about historically. So if you look at that history, and then you look at the signs of everything we dealing with right here, somebody lacked something in their history. something, it brings about barbaric and uncivilized actions and activities.
Okay,
Versus contrast to the other group.
not a success. I'm talking about success.
Well, I'm talking about a group of
No,
people
no,
that's fully equipped.
well, this what it was earlier.
Go ahead.
It was earlier when you was before the camera stopped and we got back on. I was waiting and I kind of got back to it right now. You made mention of
Man, the
someone
devil,
else.
man, the devil's asking
Someone
for
else
success.
based on because in order for you to succeed, right, it has to be something else in place. I mean, wouldn't that be a simple understanding of what is succeed, right?
Yeah.
Or success. Okay.
Now, what I was saying was, you're right. What I was saying was, create a place, something in a group of people
Yo,
for them to succeed.
right.
The previous group.
Right.
And what the previous group didn't understand and thought they were better than that group of people that was created to
Right.
and appointed to succeed them, all they could look at was the physicality of the individuals. That's why they say, I ain't gonna submit to those elements right there that you created
Right.
of a certain substance, of certain elements. No, I ain't gonna do that. So I equated that with the analogy of the body and the mind. All the Sphinx,
Yes.
with the human head, divine head, and animal body. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, through growth and development, which we discussed a while ago, is you evolve into becoming something. So
Right.
you naturally rise above the actions of a child, like the Bible says. When I was a child, I did childish things, but when I became an adult or man, however it goes, just paraphrase, I put childish things to the side. So you evolve from this animal state naturally unto this pharaoh or divine state of consciousness or being. Naturally, that's how he created purpose.
Right.
At the same time, this body, if given the opportunity, will seek to dominate and control.
Yeah.
Take center stage. Okay. So now we got nature reversed. And that's, to me, that's what Europeans represent, a reversal in nature. You know what I'm saying? They thought actions, and they thought speech and action, and their history supports that. By the destructiveness, the uncivilizedness. And the only way that they can half-ass act civilized is through the acquisition of information from somebody else. It don't come from within like it comes from within with us, because they don't have that aspect of it. So it got to come from somebody else, but when they get it, they take it based on the reversed in nature, recessive genes, so on and so forth, and use it for destructive means. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Somebody.
You were saying about the Khalifa, what your question was saying, what